The Hashiras are incredibly powerful and awe-inspiring characters within the Demon Slayer series. Their backstories play a crucial role in shaping their current personas, and we will provide you with a comprehensive overview of each of their backgrounds. Let's dive right into it. Kanae Kocho. Kanae, the former flower pillar of the Demon Slayer Corps, held a significant position alongside her sister, the former insect pillar. Their privileged and harmonious lives took a tragic turn when a demon attacked their home, resulting in the brutal slaying of their parents before their very eyes. However, Gyomei Himejima arrived just in time to save the sisters from a similar fate by swiftly dispatching the demon. Determined to prevent others from enduring the same horrors they experienced, both sisters made a solemn vow to join the Demon Slayer Corps. They underwent rigorous training and developed their own unique breathing styles. Kanae, proficient in flower breathing, eventually attained the prestigious position of the Flower Hashira. This esteemed rank is exclusively bestowed upon demon slayers who have slain one of the 12 Kazuki or triumphed over at least 20 demons. During her journey as a demon slayer, Kanae encountered a young girl being mistreated and bought by a man. Overwhelmed by compassion, she intervened and persuaded the man to release the girl. Together with her sister Shinobu, they adopted the girl and named her Kanao and brought her into the Butterfly Mansion. Kanae provided Kanao with a coin to aid her decision-making until she could become more independent. Tragically, Kanae's path crossed with Doma, the second highest ranking member of the 12 Kazuki. In their encounter, Kanae suffered severe injuries, but Doma was forced to retreat due to the rising sun before he could devour her. As Kanae lay dying in Shinobu's embrace, she implored her sister to abandon the Demon Slayer Corps and pursue a normal life. However, Shinobu remained resolute in seeking revenge for Kanae's demise. With her last ounce of strength, Kanae provided Shinobu with a description of Doma before succumbing to her wounds. Shinobu Kocho. Shinobu, a member of the Demon Slayer Corps and current insect Hashira, possesses exceptional skill despite lacking the physical strength typically required to decapitate demons. Instead, she relies on her creativity, ingenuity, and other physical abilities to compensate for her limitations. Shinobu wields a modified katana that acts as a stinger, injecting deadly wisteria poison, a substance toxic to demons, rather than relying on the conventional method of beheading with a Nichirin blade. Jigoro Kuwajima. Jigoro served as an instructor for Zenitsu and Kagaku during their time in the Demon Slayer Corps. Previously holding the esteemed position of the Thunder Hashira, Jigoro now stands as an elderly figure, his strength greatly diminished with the passing years. However, his mastery of the secret techniques of demon slaying grants him a wealth of knowledge that he can impart to the next generation. Kagaku, one of Jigoro's former students, succeeded in mastering all of the forms of thunder breathing except for the first form. On the other hand, Zenitsu, due to his lack of experience, had only managed to master the first form and struggled with the rest. Tragically, Kagaku betrayed the Demon Slayer Corps, seeking the power of a demon. In a heart-wrenching turn of events, Zenitsu was forced to confront and ultimately kill his former comrade. In the afterlife, Zenitsu and Jigoro briefly met. Zenitsu expresses remorse for his inability to foster a harmonious relationship with Kagaku. Jigoro, with tears in his eyes, acknowledged Zenitsu as his pride and joy. However, their encounter is cut short as Zenitsu is forcefully returned to the land of the living. With deep affection, Jigoro declares his unwavering pride in Zenitsu, leaving a lasting impact on his former student, Mitsuri Kanroji. Mitsuri is a member of the Demon Slayers Corps, holding the esteemed position of the Love Hashira. Her exceptional abilities and remarkable journey set her apart. Despite undergoing only 6 months of training, Mitsuri managed to complete the rigorous final selection, an achievement considered outstanding within the Corps. Born among 5 siblings, Mitsuri exhibited extraordinary strength from a young age, astonishing even her mother, known for her own formidable prowess. Her unique muscle composition granted her unnatural power. However, this physical prowess led her to being viewed as an anomaly, causing societal prejudice and hindering her previous plans for marriage at the age of 17. In response to rejection, Mitsuri dyed her hair black, feigned weakness, and adjusted her eating habits to conform to societal expectations. She yearned to fit in and be accepted despite the toll it took on her well-being. However, after a potential partner approached her, Mitsuri became uncertain if pretending to be someone else would bring her true happiness. It was during this pivotal time that Mitsuri encountered Kagaya Ubayashiki, who urged her to embrace her uniqueness and reject the confines of normalcy. He recognized her strength as a gift. Inspired by this encounter, Mitsuri made the life-changing decision to join the Demon Slayers. Muichiro Tokito. Muichiro is a member of the Demon Slayer Corps, holding the esteemed position of the Mist Hashira. Despite his young age, he possesses exceptional talent and achieved his Hashira status in a remarkably short span of 2 months. Muichiro, along with his older brother Yoichiro, was born to a woodcutter and his wife. Tragedy struck when they were just 10 years old. Their mother fell ill with a cold that eventually developed into bronchitis, claiming her life. Meanwhile, their father ventured out during a storm to gather medical herbs for their mother, but tragically met his demise by falling off a cliff. As orphan siblings, Muichiro and Yorichiro relied on each other for survival. Muichiro inherited their father's kind and compassionate nature, while Yorichiro developed a cold and impassive outlook on life. The following spring, Kagaya's wife, Amane, arrived to recruit the twins for the Demon Slayer Corps. Muichiro was filled with excitement at the prospect, but Yoichiro met Amane's arrival with hostility and rejection. In an emotional outburst, Yoichiro revealed that he blamed their parents' deaths on their selfless and hardworking natures. He adopted a distant demeanor, hoping to protect himself and his brother from further harm. Each time Amane visited, Yoichiro chased her away, harboring his resentment. During the following summer, when their twins were 11 years old, a malevolent demon descended upon their cabin in the dead of night. In a valiant attempt to protect Muichiro, Yoichiro confronted the demon but tragically lost his left arm in the fierce battle. The demon mercilessly berated them, mocking their perceived worthlessness. Consumed by an overwhelming surge of rage, Muichiro unleashed a torrent of fury upon the demon, utilizing every tool and wooden log within reach. By the time the sun rose, the demon had been reduced to a mere pile of ash, its threat vanquished. Exhausted and battered, Muichiro staggered back to the house. There, amidst the aftermath of the brutal encounter, Muichiro discovered Yoichiro near the brink of death. With his last breaths, Yoichiro offered a heartfelt prayer to the heavens, beseeching that his beloved brother might survive. In a final act of love and devotion, Muichiro lay beside his brother, tenderly clasping his hand as Yoichiro peacefully passed away. He was then later saved by Kagaya's wife Amane, who came in with her companions to save him from death's grasp. Obanai Iguro. Born into a clan of thieves, his family amassed great wealth by stealing from victims claimed by the demon they worshipped. This malevolent demon, a serpent-like creature with a snake-like lower body and face, had an insatiable appetite for newborn babies, which the clan would sacrifice in exchange for their ill-gotten riches. As the first male child born into the family in 370 years, Obanai lived a confined life within a wooden cage, surrounded by indulgence and excessive food brought to him by his doting family. The serpent demon took a particular interest in Obanai due to his rarity as a male child with heterochromia, frequently slithering around his cage and unsettling him to the point of sleepless nights. At the age of 12, Obanai was finally released from his cell, led to an opulent shrine-like room where he came face to face with the serpent demon. Overwhelmed by fear and terror at the sight of the demon he had seen haunting him every night, Obanai realized the true nature of his circumstances. The demon remarked on his small size, contemplating whether to consume him now or wait until he grew bigger. In a shocking turn of events, she ordered his mouth to be cut wider to match hers, cementing his fate as her potential meal. Confined once again, Obanai's only thoughts were of escape and survival. Using a stolen hairpin, he meticulously scratched away at the lattice of his cell, day by day, consumed by worry and fear of discovery. His only solace came from the small snake that wandered into his cage, becoming his sole companion. Eventually, Obanai succeeded in breaking free from his prison, fleeing into the night. The serpent demon pursued him relentlessly, nearly capturing him if not for the fortuitous intervention of the Flame Hashira. Obanai's escape, however, led to the serpent demon slaughtering all 50 members of his bloodline, sparing only his older cousin, who had been rescued by the Hashira beforehand. In a cruel twist of fate, his cousin rejected him, unleashing her rage upon him, blaming him for their family's demise and lashing out violently. Faced with her accusations and burdened by his own self-loathing and guilt, Obanai made a life-altering decision. He joined the Demon Slayer Corps, channeling his anger into eradicating demons and seeking redemption for his troubled past, hoping to alleviate his guilt by sacrificing himself for the sake of others. Tengen Uzui. Tengen Uzui currently holds the esteemed position of the Sound Hashira within the Demon Slayer Corps. Renowned for his extraordinary physical prowess, Tengen exhibits remarkable strength and speed, making him one of the physically strongest and fastest Hashira of his generation. Born into a shinobi clan as one of 9 children, Tengen's early life was marred by tragedy. 3 of his siblings tragically perished before reaching the age of 10, victims of the clan's overly rigorous training methods. By the time Tengen turned 15, only he and his younger brother remained among the surviving children. Within the clan, their father imposed strict and brutal training upon them, driven by a desperate attempt to salvage the declining clan's fortunes. While Tengen's younger brother embraced this mindset, displaying no remorse for the loss of their siblings, Tengen found himself appalled by the relentless violence and decided to sever ties with the clan permanently. Choosing not to engage in a confrontation with his brother, Tengen left the village accompanied by his wives. Determined to find Kagaya Ubayashiki, the leader of the Demon Slayers, Tengen sought to join their ranks to fight alongside them. With this purpose in mind, he finally enlisted as a member of the Demon Slayer Corps. Kyojuro Rengoku. Kyojuro, the son of the former Flame Hashira Shinjoro, carries immense pride in his role as one of the strongest Demon Slayers. However, despite being the son of a former Flame Hashira, his father Shinjoro has been far from supportive throughout his childhood. Shinjoro constantly belittled Kyojuro, insisting that he lacked talent and would never inherit the mantle of the Flame Hashira. Furthermore, Shinjoro's frequent drinking and abusive behavior cast a dark shadow over their family, affecting both Kyojuro and his younger brother Senjoro. While Kyojoro's mother provided a gentle presence in their life, she tragically passed away when he was still young. Despite agreeing with his father about his perceived lack of natural talent, Kyojuro refused to succumb to despair. He pushed himself to train tirelessly, determined to become strong despite his father's discouragement. With each passing day, Koijuro's resolve grew stronger and he eventually achieved his goal of becoming the new Flame Hashira. Contrary to his father's harsh demeanor, Koijuro possessed a kind and supportive nature. He extended his unwavering support to his younger brother, Senjoro, acting as a vital source of inspiration and strength. In the face of their father's abuse and criticism, Koijuro's encouragement meant the world to Senjoro. Their bond grew deeper as they faced adversity together, finding solace in each other's company. Before her passing, their mother, Ruka, imparted an important lesson to Koijuro. She emphasized that as someone strong, he had a duty to protect those who were weaker than him. This sentiment left a profound impact on Koijuro, shaping his resolve to safeguard innocent lives from the clutches of demons. Sakonji Urokodaki. Sakonji Urokodaki, a retired member of the Demon Slayer Corps and a former Water Hashira, is renowned as the primary cultivator of the water-breathing technique. He played a crucial role in training prominent Demon Slayers like Gyu Tomioka, Tanjiro Kamada, Saburo, and Makomo. When he received a letter from Gyu Tomioka requesting him to train Tanjiro, Sakonji embarked on a journey to find the two siblings. Upon locating Tanjiro, Sakonji intervened just as a boy was about to kill a demon with a knife, recognizing the inadequacy of such a weapon for slaying creatures of darkness. He admonished Tanjiro's simplistic question about defeating the demon, observing the boy struggle to devise a strategy. Sakonji, with his keen sense of smell, perceived Tanjiro's inherent kindness even in the presence of wicked demons. Intrigued by Tanjiro's potential, Sakonji agreed to test him, demanding that he bring his sister along. Leading them to his home, Sakonji informed Tanjiro that the trial would begin. He instructed the exhausted youth to hike up the mountain, emphasizing the importance of reaching home before dawn. Disappearing into the dense fog, Sakonji explained his role as a cultivator and detailed the path to joining the Demon Slayer Corps, preparing Tanjiro for his upcoming trial. Under Sakonji's tutelage, Tanjiro learned the art of the sword and underwent rigorous training. After a year of dedicated practice, Sakonji declared that he had taught Tanjiro everything he could. Tasking him to prove himself by refining the fundamentals, Sakonji led the youth to a massive boulder. He informed Tanjiro that slicing it in half would grant him permission to participate in the final selection. Amidst Tanjiro's hesitation and doubts, Sakonji silently departed. Nevertheless, Tanjiro persisted and eventually succeeded in splitting the boulder. Sakonji praised his achievement and revealed his reluctance to allow Tanjiro to proceed to the final selection, recognizing the dangers that awaited him. Embracing the young demon slayer, Sakonji urged him to return alive from the arduous ordeal. Sanemi Shinazugawa. Sanemi is currently serving as the Wind Hashira, one of the highest-ranking members of the Demon Slayer Corps. He experienced a tumultuous upbringing as the eldest son of 7 children. Their father was abusive, inflicting harm on the children and their mother until he met his demise at the hands of someone seeking revenge. One day, Sanemi's mother disappeared, prompting him to search for her. He eventually found her, transformed into a demon. Despite his efforts, Sanemi was unable to prevent her from returning home and killing 5 of his siblings. In a desperate struggle, Sanemi tackled his mother out of a window, resulting in 2 large scars across his face. His unique Marichi blood, which disorients demons and induces intoxication, provided an opportunity for Sanemi to slay her. During the chaotic incident, Genya, Sanemi's remaining sibling, stumbled upon the scene and accused Sanemi of their mother's murder. In shock and disoriented, Sanemi became partially colorblind, and as the sunlight dissolved his mother's remains, he abandoned Genya. Overwhelmed by grief and guilt, Sanemi embarked on a self-destructive mission to hunt demons armed with various weapons at a reckless fighting style. He would incapacitate and capture demons at night, stringing them up to face their demise in the morning sunlight. Despite his crude methods and reliance on luck, Sanemi managed to survive due to the distinct scent of his blood. While on his journey, he encountered a genuine demon slayer who became his mentor and introduced him to proper training. Together, they confronted the then-ranked one of the 12 Kazuki, one of the strongest demons. Unfortunately, Sanemi's friend lost his life during the battle, but Sanemi's skill and determination led to his promotion to the Wind Hashira. Gyu Tomioka. Gyu is currently holding the position of Water Hashira within the Demon Slayer Corps. Gyu grew up alongside his older sister, Sutako Tomioka. When he was still a young boy, his sister valiantly sacrificed herself to protect him from demons, leaving a lasting impact on Gyu. At the age of 13, Gyu crossed paths with Sabato while undergoing training under Sakonji Urokodaki. Together, they participated in the grueling final selection, a rigorous test to become demon slayers. However, tragedy struck when Gyu sustained injuries from a demon attack. It was Sabato who valiantly fought off the demons and emerged as the sole casualty during their selection. The loss of Sabato deeply affected Gyu, and he began to harbor doubts regarding his own worthlessness and authenticity as a demon slayer. Despite eventually ascending to the position of the Water Hashira, Gyu carried the weight of Sabato's sacrifice and questioned his own place among the ranks. Gyomei Himejima. Gyomei is currently serving as the Stone Hashira within the Demon Slayer Corps. Before his time as a Hashira and a Demon Slayer, Gyomei lived in a temple alongside 9 other orphan children who he cared for and raised. The area surrounding the temple was notorious for frequent demon attacks, so Gyomei always burned wisteria incense to protect himself and the children from harm. One fateful night, one of the children disobeyed the temple's rules and ventured outside its borders. He encountered a demon who threatened his life, and in a desperate attempt to save himself, he betrayed the other children, including Gyomei, by instructing the demon to devour them. Under the cover of darkness, the child led the demon back to the temple, extinguishing the wisteria incense. Tragically, 4 children were immediately slain by the demon, and the remaining children, fueled by distrust in Gyomei's ability to protect them due to his blindness and frail physique, decided to flee the temple against Gyomei's orders. Regrettably, they met their demise at the hands of the demon. In the end, only one child, the youngest, named Sayo, listened to Gyomei's instructions and stayed behind out of fear. The exact details of the encounter between Gyomei and the demon remain unknown, but Gyomei sustained a deep gash across his forehead. However, Gyomei swiftly turned the tables and unleashed a merciless assault on the demon after realizing the immense power within him. He relentlessly battered the demon's head until the break of dawn. Soon, others arrived at the scene, but due to a misunderstanding, the villagers mistakenly believed that Gyomei had killed the children, not the demon. As a result, Gyomei was unjustly imprisoned and accused of murdering the 7 children. However, Kagaya Ubayashiki, recognizing the truth, intervened and secured Gyomei's release before he faced execution for the crime he didn't commit. Let me know in the comments which Hashira has the best backstory in your opinion and who is your favorite Hashira overall, including current and former Hashira. We look forward to hearing from you.